to all our learners. Welcome to CEC lecture. The topic of analysis that we shall focus on is public administration and globalization. In the lecture, we shall try to understand the impact of globalized world, the process of globalization on public administration apparatus. We shall take reference to important research that has been going on in this realm in order to understand that how the context of globalization impacts working of administrative apparatus. When we talk about public administration, it has always occupied a significant realm within the realm discourses, debates in political systems. One of the most important works with respect to administrative apparatus that has been referred time and again has been right in the very beginning, Kautilya's Arthashastra. Administration today indeed is witnessing challenge. The idea that administration, coming from the Latin word ad and ministere, meaning to serve or being synonymous with management of affairs, today it is witnessing challenges. Public administration, as defined by L.D. White, it consists of all those operations having for their purpose the fulfillment or enforcement of public policy. Professor Woodrow Wilson looked upon it as detailed and systematic execution of public law. What we find here is that today this idea of public administration, namely, is witnessing changes, and one of the reasons that is how public administration is witnessing changes right from its beginning, wherein Professor Woodrow Wilson saw it in the realm of separation of politics and administration, to later phases talking about public administration as a science, to the incorporation of human relation, behavioral approach, and followed by the idea of new public administration in the work of Paul H. Appleby and Frank Marini. Today, with globalization, there are new horizons within the realm of public administration. Globalization has been defined by Anthony Giddens, and we take this definition to elaborate for our arguments better. Anthony Giddens defines globalization as the new and revolutionary, and he stresses that it is mainly due to massive increase in the financial and foreign exchange transaction. Giddens also points out that how this has been facilitated by dramatic improvements in communication technology, especially electronic. So what we find here is today, with the rise of globalization, rise of new forces of integration, global trade and finance, and today how the world is being driven by data, technology, indeed this has an impact on how governance mechanisms respond to it. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development defines globalization, and we quote it as, reading from online source, shift from a world of distinct national economies to a global economies in which production is internationalized and financial capital flows freely and instantly among countries. What is essential to be seen here is that how this idea of the rise of global world, the processes of integration and interdependence put a question mark on the traditional perspectives, namely when we see in realm of authority and responsibility, that is, the idea of clear-cut hierarchical system gets questioned with what globalization theorists have defined as the space-time compression. Globalization challenges the state versus market dichotomy, and in this debate of state versus market, which we must point out that it is an ongoing debate because of rise of new forms of challenges of the context of globalization, the debate whether state is more efficient for public delivery mechanism or whether market is a better efficient mechanism to cater to citizens' needs is an ongoing one. With the rise of integration, with the rise of partnership, with the rise of new shared interests. Once again, nation states across the world are finding that governance mechanisms are facing similar challenges. And when we are debating these challenges, it is essential to understand that how globalization, the challenges associated with globalization, tries to balance the state, the public perspectives, the public needs, and the forces of market with reference to the working of administrative apparatus. An important work when we try to reflect on bureaucracy and the bureaucratic theories thereof has been presented by the German sociologist Max Weber. Max Weber, focusing on his work looking at industrial capitalism, looked upon bureaucracy as the optimum form of organization. Looking at how the important points that we get from Max Weber's bureaucratic theory, that is hierarchical management structure, division of labor, tasks are clearly defined, clear definition of authority and responsibility, formal selection process based on experience, competence, technical qualification demonstrated by examination, education or training, career orientation, management separate from ownership, formal rules and regulations, impersonality, that is, rules are applied uniformly to everyone. What we find here is that when we see that there has been a lot of academic and policy oriented work which question Max Weber's perspective on bureaucracy, namely that how today hierarchies of management are being redefined when capitalism and the forms of business models also are witnessing changes. Somewhere today, the division of labor is also witnessing challenge when we situate it in the context of the bigger debates today, as we see with the rise of Industry 4.0, debates on automation, rise of robotics and in manufacturing, amongst others. Then when we look at the formal selection process, namely when we look at the idea that how today several countries are revamping, redoing their selection perspectives with respect to the entry and exit into the administrative and bureaucratic apparatus. And also to add here that how the curriculum of training also is being reworked upon to be better representative and to give a better reflection of the changing needs of the time. Then what we see here is that with globalization, rise of information technology, with ideas of borderless world, rise of communication revolution, indeed this has an impact on human behavior, on the working of corporations and above all on the picture of governance. Because today administration has to grapple with the idea that with the blurring of space-time distinction, today administration has to work on the idea that with the blurring of politics and administrative dichotomy, it has an impact that governance has to take the input not only from the state side, but also public policy is being broadened with the inputs from non-state actors like multinational corporations, NGOs, rise of public-private partnerships in order to facilitate better delivery of services to the people. Then communication and information technology have also revamped the process that are involved in the working of governments. So the debate here is that we must bring into account that with globalization, information technology, rise of trade, rise of global economies, blurring out national economies, the gains are not equal. And this has an impact on administration as it has an interface with the process of globalization. The world is divided into powerful and powerless. The world is divided into countries having resources and less resources. So what here is that the outcome is some countries have benefited far more from globalization. Therefore, gains of globalization are not equal, and this has an impact on administrative mechanisms also. Henry Fayol in 1969 presented to us the very important book that is General and Industrial Management, wherein the idea of successful organization, successful management was related to motivated employees. What we see here is that Fayol's duties of management, namely foresight, command, coordinate, control, and the related perspectives coming, that is the functions of management, that is planning, organizing, leading, controlling, all are under scanner. What is essential for us to be seen that how all of them are under scanner because of globalization. Fayol proposed 14 principles as we named it here: scalar chain, unity of command, unity of direction, division of work, remuneration, subordination of individual interest to general interest, centralization, order, equity, stability of tenure of personnel, initiative, esprit de corps. So, what we see here is that as we are revisiting the understanding Fayol's principles, what we see here is that all these established principles need new perspective. For example, with rise of communication and technology, the idea of how does one get initiative in a world where employees are connected in the digital paradigm, namely how does one ensure participatory development, and with respect to the bigger question of centralization and decentralization, as these questions are being revisited time and again. How does one factor in good governance with changes of time and factor in e-governance, namely getting technology and fruits of good governance towards the last person, and the related things that globalization concerns, that globalization highlights: ecology, human rights, new social movements, technology as new currency of power. So, what we see here is power, which is central to the idea of political exercise. Today, this power has bearing from new inputs, and administration too has to factor them in because of these changes and challenges. An important work that we take reference to, that is by Jamil Jarasat, that is public administration is facing new challenges due to impact of globalization. Quoting from the work, what we see here is that the author argues that there is a need for new negotiation skills among sovereign states, and at the same time one has to acknowledge what the theorist points out, that there is a change in the role of bureaucracy facilitating economic activities, and then most important, that is an organization need for a managerial culture with focus on result oriented management. Jamil Jarasat's next book, that is Globalism and Comparative Public Administration, CRC Press 2011. It makes a very pertinent, present a pertinent idea, that is globalization, communication and information technology, and the spread of democracy across the world. What is essential for us is to gauge the impact, how it is reshaping public organizations, changing the governance dynamics. And what is needed here is, as the author's works points out, to transform public administration to a global field of learning and practice with discussions on globalism, governance, global ethics, amongst others. Ali Farazman's very important ideas that how due to globalization public administration seems to be moving towards protection of citizens' rights, accountability, focus on ethical values, focus on research and training. The Ali Farazman's important book, that is Bureaucracy and Administration, CRC Press 2009, gives a very important idea that how bureaucracy as an old form of government has survived since ancient times. And even looking at the present global times, one cannot ignore that how bureaucratic institutions have endured the challenges of the time. That is to say, market no doubt is playing an important role, but the state and its related bureaucratic apparatus is also important. It is also reforming itself to cater to new challenges better. With the rise of globalization and the related debates whether globalization was good or bad, whether the world really needs globalization or not, are the related issues which have a bearing on administration, namely shrinking of public spaces. For example, when we look at essential commodities like water, which today there is a debate across nation states, should it be privatized or not. The bigger aspect of commodification, when we look at retail, should there be rise of commercial player to ensure delivery of essential commodities. Related to it is the upsurge of democratic processes, namely with the rise of new social media, which has enhanced the degree of participation and inputs that administrative mechanisms can take in from the polity. And herein the idea that whether the regulatory state, as one saw during the times of socialist regimes or during the communist regime of that of a central command economy, emergence of a competition state and its related debates thereon, focusing on public choice initiatives, whether deregulation is good or bad, whether privatization is good or bad, brings into focus the enormous challenges, the circle of tasks public administrative mechanisms have to cater to. An important book by Harun A. Khan, that is Globalization and the Challenges of Public Administration, puts into account a very important perspective that both developed and developing countries are existing in the scenario of rapidly globalizing landscape, and the argument that is governance, public administration, the task of implementation requires cooperation of both public as well as the private sector. And this has a very important bearing, that is the idea of PPP model when we look at managing human resources, accountability, sustainability, e-governance issues, leadership in public sector, amongst others. Peter Self's important work, that is Government by the Market, the Politics of Public Choice in 1993, presented a big question that whether market systems, are they having better mechanisms than statist government perspective to cater to human needs and wants and aspirations. And above all, the big picture, what the big questions that Peter Self's work raised are still having a bearing today. The Peter Self's works, that is Government by the Market, the Politics of Public Choice, namely deregulation, reducing the relative size and expanse of public expenditure. Time and again, several nation states are having research and debate on it. What is essential to be seen here is that administration is never static. It has to be responsive to the changing needs of the dynamic time mechanisms. What is essential here is what administrative mechanisms must comprehend the complexities of the issues involved. One must think on the need for new agenda, wherein there must be reworking on what could be the role of the state with clear-cut regulatory, legal mechanisms and frameworks for multiple stakeholders and players having a stake in the state versus market discourse. Osborne and Gabler's important work, Reinventing Government, gives insight into how states' role can be adjusted for the markets, setting rules in marketplace, facilitating provision of information, augmenting demand, catalyzing private sector supplies, new market sectors, creating market institutions are some of the inputs that we can get from their perspective in order to resituate the role of the state. An important work that is the Imagined Economies of Globalization, and this comes from Angus Cameron and Ronan Palin, that is how today when we are looking at the changing relations in the polity, economy, and society, one has to see that with this respatialization of the contemporary space, this recasting of the boundaries of social, what is political, what is economic in fundamental states, administration, administrative mechanisms must take this very important input that here is this transition from nation states as a homogeneous imagined community, as this work points out, to a more complex, fluid series of normative economic spaces or imagined economies. Now, this definitely has a bearing on the administrative mechanisms also. Another important work that we take reference to while understanding administration and the global dynamics is that one cannot ignore the international bureaucracy. And for that, we take reference to the work by Michael W. Bohr, Christoph Knill, Stephen Ecker Springer, International Bureaucracy, Challenges and Lessons for Public Administration Research. What is essential here is that as we are trying to understand the new dynamics of governance, new challenges that are there for bureaucracies, what has to be seen that understanding administrative rights, issues of autonomy, budgeting, multi-level administration, differences between national and international administration, herein one has to factor in that international bureaucracy also presents an important agenda of research and analysis to comprehend the challenges and lessons ahead for administrative domains. An important work by Jos Rastilis, Aaron Vigoda, that is Global Dimensions of Public Administration and Governance, a Comparative Voyage. What we see here is that this work points out an important aspect, that is understanding relationship between the structure, that is territory, bureaucracy and its related functions, namely looking at policies, looking at reforms. And most important, that any debate on how globalization impacts administration has to be situated from this very important point that this work makes. Policy is culture dependent and modern bureaucracies are being filtered in order to fit the nation's needs and expectations best. Another important work to elaborate further on public administration and the challenges it is facing with respect to globalization is by Christoph Knill, Michael Bohr, that is Governance by International Public Administration, the Bureaucratic Influence and Global Public Policy. This book is from Routledge, 2018. Herein, the book makes a very important idea that international and transnational cooperation has no doubt increased. And with this, today national bureaucracies have to also factor in domestic administrative apparatus, have to factor in rise of bureaucratic bodies of international organization. One has to deliberate what are the causes for international bureaucracies to be influential, what are the effects of international bureaucracies for roles, particular policies and domestic administrative apparatus. Another important work as we debate on public administration and globalization is by John Kirthon, Maria Larionova, Accountability for Effectiveness in Global Governance. This book is from Routledge, 2017. Herein, it is essential that the global community, the context, namely interconnected array of compelling economic development, security challenges, they require effective global governance. At the center of global governance, what we see from G8, G7, G20, UN summits amongst others. Today, one cannot ignore the critiques that are there with respect to the working of global governance mechanism, that is, they are inadequate with reference to increasingly complex and numerous global challenges. Public administration, as we focus on the domestic realm, must also factor in this aspect that one cannot take away the focus on how to increase the effectiveness of both international and domestic administrative mechanisms through accountability measures better reflective of changing global and contemporary domestic realities and designed to deliver better results. An important perspective that we get with respect to our ongoing debate on global forces and their impact on governments' administrative mechanisms comes from this work on public management in global perspective. This work is from Routledge 2014. Herein the work points out that how important it is to focus on changes. As the book points out that government functions, organizations, management of government activity, there is an interaction which is spanning beyond government, moving beyond new realms. So herein it is essential to factor in how then public administration would respond to these changing dynamics. One must also refer to this very important work, Handbook of Research on Global Challenges for Improving Public Services and Government Operations from IGI Global 2020. That is how public administration must respond to the dynamics of global governance. So what we see here is, dear learners, government reforms, increasing government practices within intergovernmental networks, the research, the changes, the teaching must adapt itself to the changes. Constant research is needed, policies must be designed, articulated through a collaborative approach. Service provision should be enhanced in terms of proximity, representativeness and innovativeness to cater better to national interests of respective nation states, which is much more holistic today. Dear learners, we hope that the lecture Public Administration and Globalization gave you significant insights. We look forward to positive, encouraging feedback from you all. Thank you very much for being with us.